my Facebook page and also on my YouTube page is one of America's most wanted people.
For some, absolutely.
Absolutely. Kaylynn Saurez still is the Fayetteville Dogwood Festival Executive Director.
Yes.
It's over.
Amen.
But let me just pull up our big screen. We're just talking about the hair that I do not have. And Trev Truth just got his hair cut about how long ago?
A month ago.
And it's looking sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, I like both styles, but
Thanks.
Yeah, well, he performed for you and
he
opened up for
did.
you.
He was
How did he
darn
do?
good. I mean, he's all right. He did darn good, though. I was impressed. The talent before and after him was impressed. So I would say he knocked it out of the park. No pun
right.
intended.
Well, and my thing, the reason we're talking about hair is he got his cut. I had, people who know me don't really know that I had hair at one point. I want to let you know, and I'm bring myself up and look at the camera. I'm the one who started the afro in 1966. There's a picture of me and my 4 or 5 brothers. Dad raised all 5 of us. He couldn't afford the haircuts, and so our hair grew long. And there's a picture of me at R.W. Brown Boys Club getting ready to go to Washington, D.C. All the friends of mine who were standing, getting ready to go to dress, had what the haircut back then was called the hustler. It was tight. It was high. There I was with my little fro starting.
Hey, the higher the hair, the closer to God.
Hey, hello. So in any event, I do have hair, and I think, Trev Truth, you've seen my picture of me playing basketball?
Oh, yeah. I seen
right.
it. Yeah.
Okay, that has nothing to do with why we're here today. We're here because the Dogwood Festival is over.
Mm-hmm.
But the planning for the next year's already starts.
It started last month. So we've been extremely busy getting ready for the 45th, and I'm super excited. It's the 4th weekend of April. So basically the dates are already set in stone, and that will be the 23rd through the 25th of 2027 in April.
So it's always the 4th weekend in April, and so we already know when it is. And you're going to have Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift.
We're bringing it all, right?
Well, but look, I joke, but you can almost get to that point with artificial intelligence where you can, make an artist come back in a hologram, or what's it called?
It's wild. Yeah, you're right. I think what we're going for the 45th, though, is a hometown, homecoming type vibe. So we'll have a lot more local artists than because usually every year we have anywhere from 2 to 6 local artists play. This year we had 4. And so next year we're hoping to drastically increase that.
Well, I pitched a program that you said I need to be the director of, and you seem like you like the idea.
I did.
And it's pretty simple. I do karaoke all the time. I do it in Melvin's. I do it in several places around town. And I'm always impressed with the level of talent that we have. Some people who just walk in and start singing. And Trev Truce will tell you this as well. I mean, you're just, I guess, an appearance away on social media from making a click. And all of a sudden now you're J. Cole.
Yep.
Well, maybe not J. Cole.
It's all about being in the right spaces at the right time and being consistent and not giving up. So everybody better watch out, though, because I think Trevor is right on that cusp.
Yeah, he is. We know he is.
He's all right.
He's all right, but I know it's. Look, I don't even have his camera up in here, so I can't even show him here. Here, Trevor, come get your camera. Put your camera up. You want to do that? I'm going to have him put his own camera up because he is a talented man, and we want to be able to see him do this here. Let me see if it'll pop up here. There it is, Studio 2.
What do I do with my hands?
Yeah, just pull that up here. Let's see if let me see. I have to get rid of that right there. Push this like that, and it should come up. And there it is, Studio 2. All right, it's going to come up. Set it up there for yourself. Make sure you're not upside down so we can include you in this conversation. So we were talking about. Look, I'm bringing him up while he's walking. See, he's trying to figure it out in there. All right, let me get him off camera because he's about to hurt himself. And look, and typical. He does the typical thing where this is the way they hold cameras in his generation.
You're making me feel old.
Okay.
He's not that. I didn't realize how much younger he was till the other day.
TV style. There you go. Hello. There you go. Now you get a good shot there. Beautiful. Go sit down in there so we can see you. So the Dogwood Festival is over. I read one story about these 3 folks who were arrested because they were.
Thank God.
Well,
That shows the power of surveillance, and that sometimes when people assume that there isn't as big of a presence as there is, they just don't realize how much is going on behind the scenes to make sure that everybody does stay safe. And I'm incredibly thankful for that.
well, the story is there were three sex offenders that should not be near children.
Yep.
And so the kid zone, you have a kid zone. Where is that located?
We had two. We had one by the Midway and one up by the library. And reason being is because when you have multiple spaces that are child friendly, people are more hyper aware, and there's more surveillance for that. So it allowed for us to have more coverage of the space. And I'm very thankful that they were quick acting and that it was able to get resolved in a timely manner.
Well, I'm not trying to have any negative thing, but the reality is reality.
Yes.
So I'm going to read the story real quick. Cumberland County deputies arrested 3 registered sex offenders within 300 feet of the kid zones at the annual Dogwood Festival in downtown Fayetteville. Now, deputies arrested Jeffrey Owen, Antonio Little, Antoine Rankin over the weekend using satellite-based monitoring. I don't know, I guess if they had bracelets on or whatever it might be. In any event, Owen and Little appeared in court Tuesday. Rankin and Owen each received a $50,000 secured bond. Little received one for $25,000. Now, the point I want to make about this, and not in anybody's defense, but when you create a kid zone, that was a space that you created.
Yes.
That's not a kid zone normally.
Correct.
Now, I'm not an attorney, but I have played one on TV. Your Honor, my client just happened to be walking at the Dogwood Festival unaware of the fact that this kid zone was set up in the area. There was nothing saying that they couldn't go to a Dogwood Festival, but but because of the charges against them, they couldn't be near children. I think they have a pretty good case to say that I didn't know that they set a kid zone up in that area.
And what I would say to that is that the Fayetteville Dogwood Festival has been and will always continue to be a very family-friendly space. And so with that said, the kid zone's not something new. Now,
no, but where it's located in terms of getting to be 300 feet near it, it was, if you didn't know that you created there.
Correct. It was only about 150 to 200 foot difference from where the Midway usually is. So it's not that drastically different. It was just up a hill.
Your Honor, but my clients have never been to the Dogwood Festival, and they had no idea that the kid zone was there. Okay, look, I'm beating home a point just to say that we are understanding nothing happened in terms of their these kids being there, and I can honestly say, Your Honor, that those are the 3 that you caught. There were probably 15 in the area anyway. So, but nothing happened, and I think my client should be. Bail should be modified or whatever it is. Okay. I'm not an attorney, but I have played one on TV.
Played one on TV.
Right. All right, look, back at the method at hand here. What we're talking about is the fact that it's over. You were the executive director. And I said this during the 6 o'clock hour. Anybody can be the armchair quarterback and say, you should have done this, you should have done that, you should have done this. It rained on Sunday, you shouldn't have had that. I saw you say, you can't. Wait, at about the end of it, you said, come on, people, I can't control the rain. What was going through your head?
I cannot control when the dogwoods bloom. I cannot control the weather. But at the end of the day, what I can control is how I choose to react and that's what I'll do.
Well, and
be a duck.
I think the other part is, we're going to talk about this. We're going to take a little break real quick, but we'll talk about this when we come back. Anyone can say, I can do better until you sit behind this microphone and now you got to talk for 3 hours.
And figure out where all the buttons are.
Right. Or in the case of the Dogwood Festival, they may see the finished product, but what they didn't know was you had chump change to put it on.
Amen.
All right. Well, look, we're going to talk about it in a few seconds right now. Right now, we got local weather from CBS meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
Today will be mostly cloudy with late morning and early afternoon showers and a high of 78. We expect thunderstorms this evening with gusty winds being the main threats. We will then clear out overnight with a low of 60. And Thursday we'll have a few lingering showers that will clear away by early morning. We will then have mostly cloudy skies with a high of 77. Saturday is going to be a chilly day with more showers possible and will stay cool to start the week. That is your Fayetteville forecast. I'm CBS 17 meteorologist Rachel Dunsing.
All right, Rachel, right now we've got 62 degrees across the board. Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, and Spring Lake. You're listening to News Talk 640 WFNC.
Cumberland County's hometown news and information source. News Talk 640 WFNC. Stream on iHeart anytime, anywhere. Just search WFNC.
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
The Arts Council of Fayetteville, Cumberland County proudly presents Joined by Stitching, a quilter's art, a juried exhibition celebrating the bold, the intricate, and the beautifully unexpected world of contemporary art quilting. From vibrant abstract patterns to storytelling textiles and experimental designs, discover how artists are redefining what quilts can be. Join them April 10th through May 10th at 301 Hay Street, sponsored by the NC Arts Council, the City of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and the Tar Heel Quilters Guild.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at radiodirect.com/privacy. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text NICE to 797979 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text NICE to 797979 for a link to your exclusive offer. Text NICE to 797979. That's NICE to 797979.
These statements and products have not been evaluated or approved by the FDA for weight loss.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
This is an important message for all parents of teens. If your teen or preteen is or has been addicted to social media sites such as Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, and they have suffered from eating disorders, body image issues, anxiety, depression, or suicidal thoughts, you may be eligible to participate in a lawsuit for significant compensation. Text WORD to 323232 to find out more. Disclosures by a Facebook whistleblower show Instagram and Facebook know their social media platforms were highly addictive and may have caused eating disorders, body image issues, depression, and suicidal ideation. That's right. It appears these social media companies knew they had been causing serious harm to kids, but have done little to stop it. If your teen has been harmed by social media like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, or YouTube, then you could be eligible for significant compensation. Text WORD to 323232 if you'd like to discuss a lawsuit. Text WORD to 323232.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson, Media Advertising Specialists, LLC, is responsible for the content of this ad with principal offices in Chicago, Illinois.
From the beginning, they were applauded. Celebrate the music of Chicago. May 21st, Crown Theater. Chicago. On sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Good Morning Fayetteville with Gilbert Bays on WFNC News Talk 640 AM and now on 103.5 HD2 WFNC.
News Talk 640 WFNC. Kaylynn Saurez is here. We're going to cut that music and get right back into it because I already see the Cumberland County folks out there in the breezeway getting ready to come in here and take over the studio. And we still got some stuff to talk about, just talking about the Dogwood Festival, kind of an after-action report here.
Yes, sir.
We were talking during the break about what it takes to run a festival, and there's critics out there right now.
Always.
Who said they could do a better job. And one person actually went back to the beginning of the Dogwood Festival and showed all the major acts that we had back at the beginning. This thing is 40 years old, folks. How many was it?
44. We're going into our 45th now.
Right. And your ability to book national acts is different now than it was 45 years ago for a number of factors. Give me a couple of them.
Yeah, I mean, our gas prices are definitely not the same. That's just a small indicator on everyday life. So national acts, like if you take Parmalee, for example, when they played for us, I mean, that anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000. Now they're $75,000 to $100,000. So, and that's very recent, like within the last 5-6 years. So imagine what it would be to book somebody that played 40 years ago, if they're still performing. And people just don't understand the rise of cost. And while people think they can do it better, applications were open for the executive director multiple times. I encourage anybody to ever apply that feels they could do it better. But my team and I feel, did a fantastic job given the circumstances we have, and I am very pleased with the outcome, and I'm very excited for the 45th and looking forward to it. So I've got 2 Dogwoods under my belt to add to my list of amazing events, but this one was definitely more about community and the patrons, and I feel like it felt more like home for them this year.
And I think the other thing was it seemed to be a safe environment.
They
implemented
extremely.
the clear bag things, for example, to come in, and then I saw video. Now, Friday night, I was at Melvin's.
Yeah, you were.
But, we were jam-packed down there. But I only bring that up because you bring up the fact that there were a couple of other things happening.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
So, roughly around the state of North Carolina, there's about 12 to 15 other festivals that are occurring the same exact weekend. One of our sister festivals, the Pickle Festival, did a fantastic job happening the same Saturday as us. But in Fayetteville, in Cumberland County, there's about 50 events that occur over that weekend, and all of them were busy and all of them were thriving, and so was Dogwood. And what I encourage people to realize is that there is something for everyone out there, and if you don't find something to do that weekend, that is on you. Whether it's the Dogwood as a free event or one of the fundraisers that are going on, or Melvin's right down the road doing some karaoke. But with the Dogwood Festival, the fact that the park was as packed as it was on Friday and the build up until the rain on Saturday, I'm very pleased and very proud of Fayetteville.
And and Trev Truth has had some video. I didn't see him on stage, but City Manager Doug Hewitt was there.
Yes, he
and
was.
he sent me pictures of Trev Truth doing his thing on stage. And of course, Doug Hewitt is a good city manager.
Dr. Hewitt is fantastic.
Not the best photographer, though.
We can't be great at everything.
But I took his pictures and cropped them down like they should have been shot and sent them back to him. He said, "Oh, hey, thanks, Gilbert."
It looks great now.
Yeah,
we had quite a few of the city council show up in support, and Dr. Hewitt had showed up, and I was very, very pleased with that. But we did have a vote on Monday that occurred with a vote of 7-2 that the city will be providing a grant to the Dogwood Festival for $75,000. And I don't think people understand how much that does help. The festival alone this year cost us $146,000. That's not including our annual operating salary that we need to keep going. So the $75,000 makes such a big difference, but we're still on the path of making sure we create a sustainable program with the Dogwood Festival, because 45 is going to be one heck of a year.
Well, yeah, and the other thing City Council did was they did say, hey, look, city leaders, let's go together and let's come up with a plan for the next 3 years.
Yes, sir.
And so when you're planning an event like this, your ability to project what you can do 3 years from now, right now, is a big deal in terms of being able to lock groups in and all that kind of stuff.
And it helps work towards the 6-year plan to make it to the 50th that we have. So for me, I am overwhelmed with such positivity in our community. I'm extremely humbled by the amount of the support that shows up. And there's always going to be a critic out there. And to the critic, I say that I've looked up your names. Your names weren't on the volunteer list. I'd like to see you at the 45th if you have some ideas, and get out there and do some sweat equity with us.
Well, I look at it like this. I'm an Army Ranger. And so when, and your husband is military as well. We don't complain about things. We will point out where there's a deficiency, but we also come up with the answer.
Exactly.
What's the solution to this problem that I've identified with? And we need more people on board doing that type of thing, because anybody can be a critic.
Amen.
It doesn't cost you anything to sit back in a chair and bring up your camera and point out all the bad things in life, basically pointing out all the bad things in your life, if that's all the time you have. But anyway, but I commend your ability to have. You got to have a thick skin.
You do, and
stuff.
whether the keyboard warriors or spotlight rangers or whatever you want to call them, I invite them to volunteer. And I know a lot of people have an opinion, and I have my opinions about things, but like you said, don't bring a problem without bringing a solution, and always think about the logistics at the end of the day. But the community, the city, different parts of the city organizations, the sheriff's department, police department, PD or fire department, all the fun things that took place, they did a fantastic job. And usually I'm the one that says, "Hey, friend," and I did not have to do that this year, and I can't tell you the weight that was lifted off my shoulders.
Well, I was glad to see that Myra Gibbs made it in with her thing with Zion and your relationship with that. You heard about that. You provided space, and that's what this is about.
Yep.
That's what the festival is about in a nutshell.
And a lot of people don't see that behind the scenes. We had actually quite a few nonprofits like Miss Gibbs who were provided a free space to set up because they do provide value, whether she's passing out the gun locks or anything of that nature. But we work with the community in a way where if they speak up and say, I need a bigger platform, I'm like, here you are. So I met with her and she, set up her booth last fall. And then the spring she drove all the way here because her mission is worth hearing. And there's a lot of nonprofits and businesses that are like that. So behind the scenes is what means the most to me, and to the public. I hope that they see those behind the scenes, a glimpse of them. Not all of it, because it's a lot of work.
Well, Kaylynn, I called you and said, hey, look, I got a slot here. We need to get you here so we can do a little after action.
Yep.
Always need to do a little after action when we have an event, because I tell you what, had someone been hurt there, it'd have been on all the TV channels for the next week.
That part.
Right. So there's nothing for the TV stations to talk about.
Darn.
And you know what? I can talk that because I worked for Channel 11 and for Channel 5.
Yep.
And I've always had to fight to get good stories down here. Mm-hmm. They would send me to the murder as opposed to the nice story that's going on. And now I don't answer to that dog anymore.
Amen.
And so there's do a story about where's their after action report. The only thing they did was about the 3 folks who were arrested with the satellite stuff and near the kids zone.
Gotta love technology, man.
Yeah. All right. Look, Kaylynn, always good to see you.
Yes,
you deserve a day off.
One day. It might be one day, but it's not anytime soon.
Okay. Kaylynn Saurez, the executive director of the Fayetteville Dogwood Festival. Second, 200 down under your belt.
One more.
And 10 more to go.
Thanks.
All right. You're listening to News Talk 640. Let's go straight to commercials on WFNC.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
Fayetteville's local news source. News Talk 640 WFNC. Stream on iHeart anytime, anywhere. Just search WFNC.
If your credit card bills have gotten out of hand, call Consolidated Credit now. If the interest rates on your credit cards are so high, it'll take years to get out of debt. Call Consolidated Credit now. They've helped over 10 million people without destroying your credit. They can reduce your interest rates, lower your total payments up to 50% to get you out of debt fast. For a free consultation, call Consolidated Credit now. The program works.
Call 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298. 800-210-4298.
Consolidated Credit Solutions Incorporated, 5701 West Sunrise Boulevard, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33313. Licensed by the New York Department of Financial Services and by the Vermont Department of Financial Regulation. Kansas CSO 0019051. Maryland DM 1492. Oregon DM 892. Licensed by the Virginia State Corporation Commission license number DC83. Service may adversely affect the individual's credit. Non-payment of debt may lead to additional finance charges or collections activity, including legal action. Actual interest rates, length of program, and monthly payment reductions will vary by consumer and creditor. Yours could be higher or lower. Not a loan company. We do not lend money.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?